Also, Farrakhan denied that Arabs have black slaves because he can't stand reports that Muslims are enslaving blacks, because his whole pitch is that Islam is the path to freedom. Well, if you've got 5 African countries where Muslims are enslaving blacks, Islam is not the path to freedom. They can get him, but they don't want to get him. They're afraid of him.
How much?
So I don't think that green black, nothing would change him. He's got to go. He's just got to go. And the way to get rid of him is the interesting question. And the way to look, Caroline Glick and Melanie Phillips, 2 wonderful, wonderful leaders of the Jewish people, say that
both authors and writers, journalists,
authors, writers, journalists, intellectuals,
mm-hmm.
Both say that about 25% of the Jews in America get it, understand what's happening. And
only 25%.
Think like we do.
75% do not.
Well, yeah, that was their estimate. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe it's 35% who get it. Maybe it's 40. Who knows? The more blood in the streets, about Jewish blood in the streets, the more we'll get it. But so the question is, and I know that there are an awful lot of Jews who think like I do, and like Mort Klein does, and Caroline and Melanie, and even center rightists people. But they're not organized, and they don't have a platform. I mean, yes, many belong to to ZOA, and many belong to Camera, but not enough. And the question is, these people are not spoken for. Their voices are being canceled or ignored or marginalized by the Jewish establishment. They're not. Their opinions are not heard or expressed. So the task for the Jewish community is to organize ourselves to be an alternative to the establishment. It's very hard to do. We don't have there are some donors who are wonderful. Mm-hmm. I've got a few. I'm sure Mort Klein has a few. I'm sure Andrea Levin has a few. But to get us all so that a newspaper man couldn't say, well, the Jewish opinion on this is the ADL says, he would have to also check with our side. And right now he doesn't have to check with our side.
Well, but wasn't that one of the purposes of Camera? That they would speak out against, okay, I understand it was mostly Middle East reporting initially.
It is Middle East reporting. That's their mission. Their mission is to be the watchdog, the check, the corrector, the teacher of journalism about the Middle East reporting. That's their job. Their job is not to organize a political faction or an activist.
Yeah.
So,
but how much of the anti-Semitism today is based on attitudes about Israel compared to the dogma from within Islam, which is preached like in Boulder, Colorado, like at the Muslim Circle of Boston? How much of it is dogma?
Like I said in the beginning, there are 4 winds against us, and these things are combining. It is bizarre to think that there's a red-green alliance, right? I don't know the answer to how much. I mean, it depends on what neighborhood are you in, right? I mean, the Muslims take anti-Israelism as a piece of, the Islamic lore about Jews. If we were treacherous before there was Israel, now we're doubly successfully treacherous, and now that there is a state of Israel. It's difficult to know what percent, if you want to comb out the threads, to assign a percent on each one.
Mm-hmm. With the Democrats appointing so many pro-Islamist, Islamic imperialist, nuclear facilitators at this juncture, with the Democrat administration leading that, how many Jewish Americans would be willing to go against the Democrat orthodoxy on this issue, which bodes ill for both Israel and
the West and the United States?
Certainly, and in fact, emboldens the Islamic revolution globally?
Not a good answer. I mean, how many Jews will be Democrats no matter what, even if Joe Biden is appointing, 6 or 8 people who have in their records anti-Israel feelings and sentiments, and sometimes anti-Semitic. How many most Jews will close their eyes to that and swallow, because what would be the worst thing in the world for them is that they would have to become Republicans, right? This would be, oh my God, it's very, very difficult. We're in a tough spot because we're trapped. And we're trapped because our leadership hasn't figured a way out to understand this.
When you say our leadership, you mean Jewish American leadership? Jewish
American leadership, right. Look, right now, you have the liberals themselves, the classic liberals, are losing to what Yoram Hazony calls an updated Marxism. It goes by many names: postmodernism, wokeism, progressivism, anti-racialism, all that stuff. It's an updated Marxism. And the liberals themselves, the classic liberals themselves, are losing to this. And, and they're now just beginning to fight this ideological fight. Barry Weiss.
The woman, Barry Weiss.
The woman, Barry Weiss, right. Who quit the New York Times and she's a liberal, right? So if she's a liberal and she had to quit the New York Times because they're anti-Israel, you can imagine. I get calls from Hillel directors on campus who say, my kids are all left-wing Jewish kids and they can't, it's demanded of them that they leave, that they reject Zionism, or else they can't come in to the left-wing coalitions for social justice. So this is the big problem underlying all of this, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The left is, the classic liberals are losing to this updated Marxism. And which is taking over American institutions, right? The media, campuses, and they're trying to swallow the Democratic Party, and they got a leg up.
Do you believe that the traditional Jewish organizations like ADL and HIAS have broadened their donor base sufficiently by promoting Islamic migration to the U.S. and defending Islamophobia, that they care less about whether we donate or not, or whether we support their policies or not?
Well, I know that Greenblatt did a very, very smart, cagey thing. He went to the tech masters, the tech giants, and he doubled the budget of the ADL.
Silicon Valley donors?
It's not, but it's not a Jewish interest organization anymore. It's a Democratic Party,
extension
branch. It's a branch of the Democratic Party. He's an operative of the Democratic Party, of the left wing of the Democratic Party. Yes, he is.
So has he strategically painted Jews into a corner? Do you feel that the Jews who consider themselves Democrat couldn't bear to go against? And in fact, he's pushing this almost as a.
Well, let's put it this way: the Jews were headed into this corner, and he pushed them further. Yes, he's painted himself into a corner too, because in the end of the day, unless he comes out against Israel, he also will be attacked. And he is attacked because the ADL, by the way, here's their own trap. The ADL has a program where they bring American policemen to get training by the Israeli police about riot control or about policing or about this and that. Yeah. And so the progressives, right, the anti-Israelites and the anti-Semites now claim that ADL does this in order to teach American cops to be brutal to black people in America. Well, the ADL is locked back on its heels by this charge. So that's where he's going. He wants to play with the left. The left is going to eat his breakfast, and they're doing it.
How does he respond to this issue?
I haven't. Well, I mean, they deny it, and of course, it's not true. It's obviously not true. The Israeli police have no interest in American cops beating up blacks. And American cops, I believe, don't have much of an interest in beating up blacks either. But lies go, defamation is defamation. It's very hard. So I haven't seen, he won't counterattack. He won't say, how much of a lie this is, and who's behind the lie, and how these lies work, and how this lie about him also pertains to all the other lies, works in the same mechanism of all the other lies about Israel. He won't do that because he doesn't want to defend Israel. But now he's trapped in this one. He's really got his back in a corner. So
how
Jewish
much
community. Go ahead.
Oh, no. How much of Jewish survival and safety in the United States do you believe is at stake in having basically a police department without a trustworthy sheriff, someone who's essentially playing for his own salary or his own party interests rather than defending the interests of American Jews?
You said the word salary. Do you know that his salary is $800,000 a year?
Per year?
Yeah, $800,000 to defend us, and he's not defending us. So how dangerous is this? Is extraordinarily dangerous. And he fights against people like Mort Klein and me. I'm small compared to Mort, but he fights against the people on the center right who want to say the truth about the world, which he is hiding. He's hiding the fact that anti-Semitism on the left is really, really problematic, my friend. And anti-Semitism from Islamic sources and places is really dangerous. It's what's kicking the Jews out of Europe. And anti-Semitism from Louis Farrakhan is really, really important. Why don't you put that on top of your list, Jonathan, and come out of your little hole there? But hang on. With all due respect, does he bear this direction alone? No. He's the head of the Jewish Defense Department, right? That's who they are. So he bears most of the responsibility because it's his job. His mission statement is to protect Jews from anti-Semitism. Fail. But the same politics have seduced of the left, have seduced federation. Not all, federations, JCRCs, a lot of them.
How about the Jewish Press Association, like JTA, for instance?
I'm a fan of the JNS, which arose to compete against the JTA, which is left. So JNS is great. Jewish News Syndicate, Jewish News Service.
But the Jewish newspapers in almost every city,
right, have the JTA. Yeah,
have the JTA and
Jewish people in America are not learning what they need to learn because they're reading those things and they're listening to their ADL and federation heads, and they don't understand that the Democratic Party is not the Democratic Party of our grandfathers or our fathers. They don't understand that it's been devoured. It's being devoured by the progressives. Listen. Here's a very simple point. All of us, you too, me too, we're classic liberals. By that I mean we believe in equal opportunity for everybody, no matter race, gender, ethnic, whatever, equal opportunity. The progressives demand equal results, okay? And the progressives say that any group that's not doing as well as another group is only not doing as well because they have been oppressed by this group. That's the only reason why these guys are not doing as well as these guys. It's not because they have problems internally. It's not for any other reason, but they're oppressed by well, guess who is the 1% of the 1%? It's the Jews. Because our prosperity now, our own prosperity now, is a reason to hate us more than ever before. It's a proof that we're thieves. Because the only reason that we do better is because we were doing nasty things to keep them down. So that's progressivism.
That's
if you're going to go to progressivism, if you're going to go there, the Jews will be the first targets, right? Like the Asians, right? Jews and the Asians, because prosperity means theft,
or because we succeeded in a meritocracy, and they want to eliminate that idea because then it promotes communism, socialism, and a new power structure.
Yeah, it's about power. It's about seizing power. All Marxisms, even the updated ones, it's kind of funny to think of this, the wokesters as updated Marxists, because I think Karl Marx himself would be kind of shocked if he went into a gender neutral bathroom. But still, it is an updated Marxism that we fight. And it's poison for the Jewish community and for civilization.
How can your organization be used as a framework or a structure to champion the ideas that so many people are looking to channel?
Well, we try. We're small. We're a 501c3. People can donate to us. peaceandandtolerance.org. We have united 10 other small groups, some not so small, in an umbrella growing coalition that is trying to be a platform for our views. People should write to us, and we help people join groups that are aggressively pro-Jewish and that believe things that we do. And there are groups like this all over the country, little mushrooms growing. So people should get in touch with us, and we can help plug them in, because we really do need to be organized. We cannot afford to lose this battle. This is for our children and our children's children.
We're only with less than 3 months into the new administration, and we have 4 more years.
Right. And it might be Kamala, right?
But will the policies change, or are the policies even being dictated from within the White House?
Could be worse. Could be worse. Could be, there are people who have fantasies that Obama is the president. Could be. I don't know.
Anyway, well, to be continued. Thank you for your insights and sharing with us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.